Oh my gosh, you are ready to edit. So I'm going to show you the basics of editing in Premiere. And you can refer back to this, but you can also ask. I'm sure there were some students that already know kind of the basics in editing. And then we also have the advanced students too. But for this project, I just want you to kind of be able to put these things together so we can kind of see how it looks. So the first thing I want you to see is down in the bottom of your corner, which is where your Windows icon is. This is where we would find Premiere. PR is your icon. And when you open it, eventually yours is probably going to open up with a quick login. And when you see the login, it'll come up and ask for your Google ID, but just click on the icon that says Google. When we first open this up, we're going to just have an open program area such as this, and we can see other things that have been worked on not too long ago. But if you're already familiar with some of the Adobe programs, this is going to be very comfortable for you because it's kind of the same layout, even though it's a very different, very robust program. It's kind of the same where you would expect to find things, sort of. So I want you to see, like, this is the kind of the main part that opens up to you. You have your menu up here, but the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and do a new project. Now, the new project window that comes up, we're going to name this 4-day video. Okay, and I can also see right next to it, this is the location. We want to make sure that we are going and saving it into the proper location, because if we don't, the default location is going to be somewhere on the C drive. And if you are not familiar, what happens if you save anything to your C drive or the hard drive of the computer that you have in front of you, every time you log off, it's wiped. So you want to make sure that you are telling it where to save. So I'm going to get into here, choose location, and I want it to be on my Google Drive. I want to go into my drive, and all of this is working well because down here in the bottom right corner again, I have my Google Drive and it's colored. If I can't get into this the way I just did, it's because you are not properly connected to your Google Drive. So you want to make sure that you come down here and go through the process of connecting it to your Google Desktop, is what it's called. I'm going to go down to my video production folder, just like yours, and we have classwork and projects. We have our projects here, and there's our 4-day video. And this is where I want to save my project. It's right in here. You'll notice that we uploaded videos here before, correct? But I don't see them, and that's because of the file format that I am saving my project as. So those other files are there, I just can't see them because I am saving a new type of file format in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and click on select this folder, and then we are good to go. I could change some other things if I wanted to, but I don't really want to at this point. And they're showing you other videos that we could take from Adobe, but we're just going to go ahead and click on create because we got the big parts that we wanted to do. So what you're seeing is the basic editing desktop or workspace that you would see when you are working in Premiere. This is your timeline down here. This up here is what your video is going to be looking like. This is a unique clip that we may have selected. And then down here is where all of our clips and all that stuff that is, if we want to go ahead and start taking a look at it. And just to make sure, I'm going to go to Window, Workspace, and I want to make sure that I am on editing, which is exactly what I want to do. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to upload our clips. So we're going to go up here to File, Import, and then we're going to find that area where we saved all those clips. So again, it's on my Google Drive, and I can go up here and look at my breadcrumb. This is called a breadcrumb when you look at it, which is a reference to Hansel and Gretel, so you can find your way back. And each one of these, it's kind of nice, becomes a link. So I want to go into projects, and then there's my 4-day video. So I've got lots of videos in here that I want to use. And there's that one that I renamed called Walk Upstairs. And this project, this right here, is actually the file that we're working on right now. It's a project, or it's a Premiere Pro project file. And now I'm going to go ahead and take all of these, and I highlighted them. I clicked on the first one, held down my shift key, clicked on the last one, and it highlighted all of them. And I'm going to go ahead and click on open. And you'll see that it's slowly going to be importing all of those files, which is nice to have. So I can start using them for my project. Now, the one thing I want you to know specifically about Premiere is that it is a very big program, and all of you know that videos are very large files. When you have these large files, the issue becomes, if I copy my videos and put them into a new project such as this, the file itself keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And if I have a lot of video files that I want to maybe use, but I'm not going to fully use, I want to still have them there copied into my project. So what Premiere actually is, it's kind of a shell of a program. It connects all of those files back to the original files. So such as that one file I named Walking Upstairs or Walk Upstairs. If I went in and renamed that again, my Premiere project would not be able to find it. So it's connected to those files and its location and its name, which is one of the reasons it's important to name your files before you upload them into Premiere Pro. So you need to understand that, because this project cannot exist without those files still remaining someplace else. You can't delete those thinking that you've copied them into this. They rely on each other. So it's basically kind of like a shell of a program. So we have all of your videos that are uploaded over here into your media browser. This again is for one clip, and then this is the video itself. This is called your timeline down here. So your timeline is where you are actually putting everything together. It's called linear editing. So over here would be at the beginning, and then you move through time this way to the right. So what we're going to do is we have these clips over here. The first thing you do is you grab one of the clips, click hold, and drag it just generally over into the timeline. And as soon as you do that, the presets for the timeline are built around what the aspect ratio and the frames per second, everything that's established from that original video. Now, you'll notice a couple things happen. So right up here, we see a clip. We see now, this is called our player head. We can go up and down through our video. We can see the clip. This down here is your audio wavelength. We can kind of grab that and pull that down and see the wavelength. We can see the time frame through that. You can see the audio threshold over here, and you can see that clip. So the V's stand for video, the A stand for audio, and you can see the beginning and the end of the clip, which is great. Now, if I bring my player head all the way over to the beginning of the clip, there's a couple things I can do. I can go ahead and hit play, and it'll play through, right? I can also hit my space bar, and it'll play it, and space bar again to stop it. So that's just kind of a shortcut. Now, one thing you'll notice is at the beginning of this clip, you can see this spike in the audio a little bit. That's right when the person was saying go.
Go.
So what we want to do is start the action probably like right about here. So on that player head, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and you see that if I hover over my video, it becomes like this little arrow. I can click, hold, and drag it right into that space. So then my clip, you'll see it starts right on action, which is nice. But I have this dead space at the beginning. I can go ahead and highlight that with my cursor and then delete it, and it'll bring it right over. Now that's one way of cutting. We can kind of see that he keeps moving through and out of the screen. Let's try another clip, and I'm not sure what the clips are. So what I can do is I can double click on them, and then I can see the clips up here. So it's like I have another monitor, and this is the monitor that I can see for just those clips. You can see there's the kid. Oh no, something happened. So I don't mind that clip. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab that clip. I'm going to bring it, click, hold, and drag and bring it right over here. So I can go ahead and hit play, and then it cuts directly to the next clip. Now there's other things I can do too. I can also kind of cut, let's say I want to cut it right around here, just for, I don't know, get a little action going. I'm going to use this called a razor blade. I can cut right on that spot. And then what I can do is I can highlight the part that I just cut and delete it. I can click here again and delete again. And then I can kind of see how my edit looks. Right? Now let's say I want to cut it here. Use my razor blade again. Click here and delete. And I play it. And then I'm like, that doesn't look quite right. I want some of that back. So the clip still exists. Remember, these are all clips that exist like someplace else. So I can take this and I can actually pull it back to where it was. Okay. Now, the other thing that I want you to know is that, again, this is linear editing, meaning we start in one spot and we, through a line of time, we go through and then we meet through the project. I can also take these videos and I can kind of, if you notice, I have more than one line. I can stack them too. And what happens, just like a lot of the other Adobe products, is whatever is on top is what you see. So if I were to stack the video, you can see that the other video still exists underneath, but we see the one that's on top of it. Okay, that's basic stuff, very, very basic stuff. There are lots of other things that we can do. We can add transitions, we can add different effects to all of this. But I wanted you to just get started and feeling comfortable about editing what you have, and some of the advanced kits can help you as well. Once you have your video to the point that you want, and I'm hoping that I'll be back in some of the other video, additional kids will be able to help you out. We can go to File, and then Export, and then Media. This is how you compile everything into your final video. So the first thing you'll notice is the name. So right now it's taking the name of Walk Upstairs. It took that name because it was the first file or the first video that I put in there. So I'm going to go ahead and call it 4-day video. I also want to make sure that I'm going in the right spot. So I'm going to click on that link, and it is not. So I want to go over to my video production, projects, 4-day video, and we're saving it as an MP4 file. Go ahead and hit save. And for most of this other stuff, I'm going to go ahead and just keep it as it is for right now. There are other ways we can kind of compress it, but then we're going to go ahead and export. Once we export, you'll see that this comes up. and it kind of exports it, and then you'll see nothing happen. But if you go back to your Google Drive, you will then see a finalized MP4 file. If you are having problems with the export, you might notice that you might have one of these other windows highlighted. This is the window that you need to have highlighted for you to be able to go ahead and export. So I want to leave you there